This morning, President Trump expected to make a tariff rate announcement. We'll have all the details.
And we're tracking the latest on the storm threat for the 4th of July and when these storms will move out of here.
Plus, it's America's birthday. We'll tell you everything you need to know about 4th of July events in Madison. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3. And now this morning on your Friday, it's the 4th of July, so we hope your morning is off to a great start if you're watching out there. But we are tracking some active weather to start our holiday weekend. But meteorologist Savannah Brito is here to get us up to date on if we need to worry about if it's going to stick around. Savannah?
Kyrian, the good news is, aside of the mid to late morning hours, we're not going to have to worry about any more showers or storms for the rest of 4th of July. So once these move out of here, the rest of the day will be clear. We're seeing some heavy rain across the city of Madison and the majority of Dane County right now, but I want to go straight to the Janesville area and Rock County. They're seeing a lot of heavy rain. This storm is not severe warned, but it does have a special weather statement tag on it. That's expected to run until and through 6:30 in the morning. That's affecting Brodhead and areas south of the city of Janesville. All this white in the center of the storm, that's the hail. So we are seeing a hail core on it, just up to pea size. So technically that's not large enough for the National Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. But yes, this is a stronger storm affecting basically western or eastern Greene County and the majority of Rock County right now. And that is moving southeast pretty slow at only about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So those areas likely going to see flooding too, because that storm's kind of static across Rock County. That's not the only area that's waking up to some active weather. We're also showing some of that near Darlington, Blanchardville. Those areas are seeing heavy rain and some core, a hail core associated with that storm as well. Some lightning returns. Most of these storms had a history of producing a lot of lightning. We're not seeing a lot of that. The heavy rain and hail along with gusty winds are the big things. This storm also affecting Rock County is producing up to about 40-mile-per-hour winds. We had a report on that in the National Weather Service chat. But like I said, once these storms move out of here, the rest of the 4th of July will be dry, but we're looking at the heat and humidity ramping up. We'll talk about how warm temperatures will get coming up, Kyrian.
Savannah, thank you. And be sure to stay on top of the 4th of July forecast by downloading the free First Warn weather app. You can find that in your app store. Now to our top stories this morning. You're taking a live look now at the Capitol, where President Donald Trump says he will likely be sending out letters today to countries on their import tariff rate. That means U.S. businesses could soon learn how much they have to pay for certain imports. President Trump says tariff rates will range from 10 to 20% up to 60 or 70%. Trump's so-called reciprocal tariff pause ends on Wednesday. He sounds less confident about making trade deals now than he did shortly after imposing the tariffs in April. The president says tariffs generate revenue. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve Chair says tariffs influenced the Fed's recent decision to keep rates unchanged. Trump says collection of most new tariffs will begin on August 1st. President Donald Trump is expected to sign the One Big Beautiful Bill Act at a White House ceremony today as the nation celebrates its 249th birthday. Congress passed the measure in a 218 to 214 vote, with all Democrats and 2 Republicans voting against the bill. The bill significantly boosts spending for border security, immigration enforcement, and defense, and extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts, and it also increases the child tax credit. In opposition to the bill, Democrats cited steep cuts to safety net programs, including SNAP, the Food Assistance Program, and Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office estimates under the bill's provisions, Medicaid could be cut by $930 billion, with nearly 12 million people at risk of losing health care coverage. The Department of Homeland Security is preparing to cut 75% of the staff who develop and share threat intelligence with state and local partners. A source says these cuts will reduce the Office of Intelligence and Analysis by about 750 employees. DHS says it is eliminating redundant roles and those working on non-critical programs. Some Democratic lawmakers warn these cuts could create dangerous and unnecessary security gaps. At the state capitol, for the first time ever, the state budget includes a filmmaking incentive. It creates a statewide film office and offers a $5 million incentive to productions that hire and film in Wisconsin. Industry advocates say they've been pushing for this for over a decade. While this is a first step, Wisconsin still lags behind neighboring states like Illinois and Minnesota. But now the state is in the game. Writer and director Nathan Deming says one big benefit is the money that filming brings to local communities.
That's kind of the win-win for everybody, because that's suddenly a balloon of money just getting parachuted into a town that otherwise wasn't going to be spent there.
Before the governor signed the budget, Wisconsin was one of only 13 states without a film incentive and just one of 3 without a statewide film office. Tomorrow marks the 15th anniversary of Wisconsin's smoke-free indoor air law. The State Department of Health Services says the law has helped clean the air in public places and reduced health problems and hospitalizations linked to secondhand smoke. When the law took effect in 2010, 19% of adults and 17% of high school students reported current smoking. Today, those numbers have dropped to 12% for adults and just 3% for students. If today is your usual trash collection day or you use city public transport, we have some updates for you. The city will not pick up trash, recycling, brush, or large items today due to the holiday. All Streets Division drop-off sites and offices will also be closed. If you normally have Friday trash and recycling collection, be sure to put your cart out by 6:30 on Monday morning. Bus services will be reduced. Routes 81 through 84 will not operate, and all standing paratransit services are canceled. You may be preparing to grill and watch some fireworks today, but it's also important to know the do's and don'ts of fireworks. News 3 Now's Tanisha Shaw spoke with local police departments around Dane County to learn more.
Fireworks will take over the sky for the 4th of July. It's important to know which fireworks are legal and which ones aren't in the Madison metro area. I'm here at a pop-up tent in Middleton, and it's important to know which ones to buy to avoid a ticket.
Sparklers, snaps, caps, and snakes
Are the only legal fireworks in the Madison metro area.
Generally speaking, if something leaves the ground, that's going to be a hazard, and those are the things that are prohibited by ordinance.
We will have extra patrols going through pretty much most of most of Madison, with some emphasis on Elver and Gardner Park.
The Madison Police Department wants to avoid another incident like what happened at Elver Park in 2024.
While fireworks that shoot up are really cool, they can create some safety hazards for other people, especially if they shoot towards a building or shoot towards like a dried out wooded area.
Because of the unsanctioned fireworks, a Madison police officer was hit and thankfully only had minor injuries. But situations like this can turn deadly, and tickets can cost nearly $400.
Like I said, we will have officers in obviously patrolling Madison. We will have some extra staffing just due to it being the 4th of July to address any issues in the parks.
A Middleton police captain understands that people want to enjoy the holiday, but asks that everyone complies with officers.
So we want to educate and, again, get that voluntary compliance. If people are going to willfully not comply, particularly after that effort, we aren't afraid to issue citations.
All of the agencies that I talked to said that safety is their priority, and when in doubt, make sure that you call the fire or police department. Reporting in Middleton, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
There's plenty of places to get out and enjoy the fireworks in southern Wisconsin today. At the Duck Pond in Madison's Warner Park, the fireworks will kick off at 9:30 p.m. after the Nightmares game. The big feature show of Monota's Community Festival begins at 9:20 p.m. in Winnequa Park. Outside the Madison area, Beloit hosts their fireworks at dusk at Riverside Park. Whitewaters are at the Kravitz Lakefront Park at 10 p.m., while Stoughton's will be at the Stoughton Fairground at dusk. For a comprehensive list of every show going on in southern Wisconsin, you can head over to our website, channel3000.com, and search Fireworks Show. And today is the last day of the Monona Community Festival. After facing possible cancellation this year, the festival launched day 1 at full speed. Community members came together to keep the tradition alive after organizers announced 2024 would be the last Monona Festival. Organizers cite rising costs and a decline in volunteers as the reason. But a Save the Festival campaign helped ensure nearly 20,000 people enjoyed this year's event. The fireworks show, again, that's set for 9:20 tonight. So lots going on across southern Wisconsin. There's lots of stuff to do, from carnivals to festivals to fireworks.
Never a shortage here.
No, but I think the shows will go on. And just make sure you know what your fireworks rules are in your city or town or village, because I know there's some fine lines there.
Exactly. Luckily, we've been seeing rain, so I don't think conditions will be too dry or anything like that, but we are waking up to an active radar, not only across the city of Madison, seeing some really heavy rain, but also southward will show that future radar when these storms are expected to move out of here and how the rest of the 4th of July is shaping up.
And coming up in your morning sports, the player ratings are out for the college football 26 video game. Who's the highest rated Badger?
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Ticket sales are now open for the World Dairy Expo. The world's largest dairy-focused trade show returns to Madison this October at the Alliant Energy Center. The event includes a world-class dairy cattle show, presentations about the industry, and hundreds of exhibitors. Tickets purchased before September 30th are $15 for a day or $40 for the season. They'll go up in price after that. You can also purchase an Expo TV subscription to watch both live stream and on-demand coverage of the event for $20. The World Dairy Expo runs from September 30th to October 3rd. It's the 4th of July weekend, and of course everyone wants to know what's going to be going on with the weather, Savannah.
Good morning, Kyrie. Yeah, everyone wants to know that it's going to be a hot and muggy day. Not necessarily good news, but the big story this morning is the storms that we do have. That is across Dane County. We're not seeing lightning necessarily or hail, but gusty winds. And also the big story is the heavy rain that the city of Madison is seeing. Not impossible that we don't see a hail core show up on radar eventually. That's a different story south of here, though. There is a lot of hail, and this stronger storm that's affecting areas near Monroe or just south of that area now, and it is about to enter into northern Illinois. This is south of Broadhead this morning and also south of the city of Madison, now getting ready to hit Beloit, Durand, Illinois. That's also producing gusty winds. This had a history of a special weather statement tag on this, producing 40-mile-per-hour winds and up to pea-sized hail. So not necessarily enough for the strong enough for the National Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have still strong storms that are affecting parts of southern Wisconsin. Most of the rest of the storms are moving out of here, kind of near Mukwonago and Pewaukee. Those are all in Milwaukee's viewing area. So all of the stories are in Rock County right now, and then out of Greene County, entering portions of northern Illinois. That's the big picture this morning. The other story is the hot and humid conditions we're going to see. Once we get past mid to late morning, the next few hours, all those storms move southeastward, and we're not going to have any more rain or storms affecting southern Wisconsin, which is good news. Yesterday, we still had some chances for isolated showers around fireworks shows in the evening. It's not going to happen anymore. I think most of southern Wisconsin will be dry. Basically, areas stretching from Watertown, all of this red is a major risk from the heat across the area for later today because air temperatures will be in the lower 90s and the heat index that could surge 95 to 100 degrees. We'll also see that red affect areas tomorrow too. The good news is also we'll turn sunny by the afternoon, but that's going to be the reason behind the hot temperatures and our strong southerly winds. 85 that temperature by lunchtime and then 90 by 4 p.m. Like I said, fireworks shows are going to be dry. It'll still be very warm and muggy, so probably want to wear shorts. You're not going to need a jacket by any means. 82 by 8 p.m. We're down to 79 by 9 and then 76 by 10. It's still going to be very warm all night, though. Our low will only fall to 73. When you have nighttime temperatures that warm from the heat of the day, we're forecasting the lower 90s. Your body doesn't have full time to cool down, so heat exhaustion and heat stroke more likely, and it'll still be hot out there tomorrow. This is the Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow. We're mainly looking at the line of storms that'll move through in the evening. I do think some changes. Wisconsin Dells northward had this yesterday, and now they did stretch that south to include the city of Madison and areas towards Watertown and Janesville. So there will be a storm threat tomorrow ahead of a cold front. That cold front will knock our temperatures down to only 83 by Sunday, though. So cool and cooler temperatures and some relief is on the way, Kyrie.
Savannah, thank you. Well, in health news this morning, a group of doctors and veterinarians warned that a Trump administration proposal to let the bird flu spread is dangerous and unethical. In a letter published by the American Association for the Advancement of Science, doctors say if we don't stop avian flu, the virus could evolve. They warn it could kill hundreds of millions of birds and cost the U.S. billions of dollars. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has suggested it's better to let the virus spread to identify birds that are naturally resistant. A new study shows black people who go to the emergency room for opioid overdoses can sometimes receive different treatment than white people. Research published in JAMA found while around 10% of white patients who went to the ER for overdoses were referred for outpatient treatment, only about 6% of black patients got the same referral. For people with opioid use disorder, access to addiction care and medication can save lives. If you drive a Nissan, check your make and model. The automaker is recalling more than 440,000 vehicles for an engine issue. Nissan says engine bearings may have defects that could lead to engine failure. They say it could lose power during use. The recalled models include the 2021 to 24 Rogue, the 2019 to 2020 Altima, the 2019 to 2022 Infiniti QX50, and the 2022 Infiniti QX55. Dealers will inspect the recalled vehicles if needed. Nissan will start notifying affected drivers next month.
After averaging just 2 points and 2 rebounds during his first year in Madison, Nolan Winter took a big jump during his sophomore season. He worked his way into the starting lineup, scoring 9 points per game, and he led the team in rebounding and finished second in blocks. And like last offseason, he hit it hard again with an emphasis on bulking up so he can be ready for the nightly battles in the Big Ten.
Weight room's been one of the bigger things for me this offseason, knowing that strength will bring me a lot of confidence throughout all the aspects of my game on the court. So getting in there with Coach Snides, and when I went home, just really focusing on that, along with all the other stuff on the court as usual. But no, it should be a fun year. We're all looking forward to it.
Ahead of the NBA's Summer League, the Bucks have officially signed Mark Sears to a two-way contract, and he was an absolute bucket getter for Alabama last season. The consensus first-team All-American averaged just under 19 points per game and helped lead the Tide to an Elite Eight appearance. A rubber match between the Brewers and Mets. Crew down a run in the fourth. Caleb Durbin sends a chopper to third and then going to beat the throw to first to tie this one up. But the Mets, they'd scored 2 in the 6th, including an RBI double from the former Mallard himself, Pete Alonso. Brewers lose the game in the series. 3-2 is your final. And that's it for sports. Have a good day.
In new this morning, one artist is paying tribute to one of our local baseball heroes. Art Hebert is an artist who paints on the grass outside his house. He's also a big baseball fan, as you can see here. He grew up on the lake listening to Bob Uecker stories about when he lived in Eau Claire. Now boaters passing Hebert's home base are reminded of Mr. Baseball with his legendary catchphrase. Uecker's presence was on the field and it was impactful, and he's missed by many.
Taking boat rides at night and being on the water, listening to Bob Uecker, and it was just soothing, and listening to his stories about when he lived in Eau Claire.
Bob's memory continues to live on in the hearts of Brewers fans daily, especially through tributes like this. Well, still ahead, an Australian animal gets lost outside the outback, and a car wash that does more than just vacuum up your cracker crumbs. And coming up in our next half hour, how to keep your pets safe during the 4th of July weekend.
Well, good morning. This is a shelf cloud. Amanda just sent me this on Facebook over the Milton area as the storms moved out of Dane County and into Rock County. Most of these storms are not necessarily weakening, but they're south of that area and even south of the city of Janesville this morning. So good shot by Amanda.
Yeah, very cool photo here. Nice shot.
I love when we get these so then we can show them on air of what people are actually seeing. But yeah, continue to send your pictures in. Hashtag MyNews3Morning. Thank you, Amanda, for sending that to me.
Well, here's what's trending this morning. Some Milwaukee police made a lucky catch recently. Outside a FedEx facility, they found a wallaby on the run. Wallabies are similar to kangaroos and are typically found in Australia, but evidently not this one here. After local police caught the wallaby Thursday, an officer tested the animal's friendliness and was able to pet it, but it didn't stay calm for long. The wallaby was jumping around all over the place while officers tried to get it into the squad car. Eventually, they got it done. Police say the wallaby has been reunited with its owner, thankfully.
I love this. These are some of my favorite animals. I've always wanted to go to Australia. I'm glad that he's home safe and sound, I guess.
Yes, safe and sound, little guy. Well, Goldfish brought a fun free car wash pop-up to the Jersey Shore just in time for 4th of July road trips. They serviced hundreds of cars on day one. Those nearby can head in for a full car cleaning, complete with bright orange suds, and choose from 15 free Goldfish flavors to make more snacks for the road. Fans outside of New Jersey can visit goldfishretrievalservice.com to pre-order their own limited edition Goldfish car mats that help conceal those inevitable road trip snack crumbs. I know my car knows all about it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the only other better thing is to provide a vacuum service, like a little interior cleaning that vacuums up all those Goldfish crumbs because they get everywhere.
Yeah, we keep my husband busy with vacuuming the car. That's for sure.
I did that to my mom's car growing up for sure. Sorry, Mom. We'll have an update on these storms and the threat of the heat and humidity coming up. Right now, we'll have the latest on the storms moving across southern Wisconsin and have an update on the rest of the 4th of July forecast.
Plus, it's Independence Day. We have tips to keep your food and pets safe, and we'll help you get ready to travel. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Friday. It's 4th of July, and we are tracking an active start to the morning.
We are. Looks like fireworks, but it's the radar behind us.
I was like, wait, that's not what we want to see.
I know, but luckily in time for the fireworks shows and most people's plans, we're going to have dry weather move in. So this is just going to affect the morning hours, mid to late morning, and then we'll see those showers and storms end. There's the fireworks.
That's the light we want to see this morning.
Yeah. You got any plans for the 4th later today?
Yes, we're going to try to get out to the Monona Community Festival. And do some grilling and chilling, and there we go.
Well, anyone that has those plans, I don't think we're going to run into any problems. It's just if you're traveling early this morning, you want to be aware of all this active weather. Nothing severe, but we do have some storms that have had a history of producing some stronger storms, and that's mainly down just south of the city of Janesville. This had a special weather statement tag on it and is still producing some hail. So areas near Beloit still waking up to some heavy rain, gusty winds, and some hail. The main hail is actually southeast of Clinton. That's this white little center or core that we have in the middle of this storm. That's also near and south of Bardwellville and also just east of Fox Hollow. That is getting ready to move out of southern Wisconsin and into northern Illinois. The big story today after the storms move out, the sunshine, that's really going to heat things up. We're looking at a hot and humid day for everyone across south central Wisconsin. We'll have an update on how hot the weather is going to get today and how long the humidity and heat stick around. Kyrian.
Savannah, thank you. Stay on top of your 4th of July forecast by downloading the free First Warn weather app. You can find that in your app store. First this morning, President Donald Trump is expected to sign the One Big Beautiful Bill Act at a White House ceremony today as the nation celebrates its 249th birthday. Congress passed the measure in a 218 to 214 vote, with all Democrats and 2 Republicans voting against the bill. The bill significantly boosts spending for border security, immigration enforcement, and defense, and extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts and also increases the child tax credit. In opposition to the bill, Democrats cited steep cuts to safety net programs, including SNAP, the Food Assistance Program, and Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office estimates under the bill's provisions, Medicaid could be cut by $930 billion, with nearly 12 million people at risk of losing health care coverage. And the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add more than $3 trillion to the deficit. Back here at home, the Madison Fire Department is investigating 2 fires at a Northside playground as possible arson. The first fire broke out around 5:30 last night at Lindbergh Elementary on Kennedy Road. Crews found fire damage at the top of a slide. The department received reports of a second fire at 7 p.m. Firefighters discovered flames and smoke engulfing the playground and used about 300 gallons of water to extinguish it. New this morning, Canada is beefing up border security on Peace Bridge. From increased border patrols to drug-detecting dogs and drones with thermal imaging, Canada puts $1 billion more into enhanced programs now securing the Canada-U.S. border. This after President Donald Trump imposed punishing tariffs to stop fentanyl coming into the U.S. Canadian intelligence shows organized crime, including gangs from Mexico, are producing more fentanyl and other drugs in Canada for export to the United States and elsewhere.
The president and our government, I think it's safe to say, have agreed that we can do more collectively to secure the border. And we have regular members out to the border in uniform, on patrol, which is something, say, a year ago, we weren't doing.
From fentanyl to firearms, the Canada Border Services Agency says the president's scrutiny has led to more resources and intelligence sharing on all kinds of smuggling. Also in today's top stories, the Department of Homeland Security says ICE officials have arrested Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. over alleged cartel ties. In a social media post, it says he is, quote, being processed for expedited removal from the United States. Last month, authorities determined he had made fraudulent statements on a permanent resident application and was in the country illegally. Well, if you're getting ready to hit the road today for the 4th of July, be ready for delays with an expected 61 million drivers over the holiday period, and that could mean some heavy traffic. But there's also some good news. You might feel a bit less pain at the pump. Gas prices are now at their lowest since the beginning of the pandemic.
We're paying about 30 cents less than we were this time last year. We haven't paid gas prices this low since 2021.
Air travel is also booming. AAA projects a record 5.84 million people flying, but round-trip domestic flight prices are up 4% from last year due to high demand. And on the 4th, fireworks are fun for most families, but they can be very upsetting for pets. The Dane County Humane Society urges you not to bring your pets to fireworks displays, as the noise and large crowds can stress them out. Officials say keep your pets inside during the shows, close the blinds, and turn on the TV or play gentle music to help mask the outdoor sounds. Make sure your pet wears identification on their collar and is microchipped with updated contact information. If a pet gets startled and escapes during a fireworks show, having proper ID greatly increases the chances they'll find their way back home. If you find a lost pet over the weekend, be sure to submit a lost and found report at giveshelter.org. And if you're planning a cookout or get-together this weekend with lots of good food, it's important to keep it safe in the heat. The CDC estimates 48 million cases of foodborne illness and 3,000 deaths happen in the U.S. every year. We all know to wash our hands and cook food properly, but leaving food out at room temperature for more than 2 hours can make it spoil. That time drops to just 1 hour when you're outside in high heat. Experts recommend using a cooler with ice packs or other cold sources during transportation to keep food safe. And you may be preparing to grill and watch fireworks today, but it's also important to know the do's and don'ts of fireworks. Our Tanisha Shaw spoke with local police departments around Dane County to learn more.
Fireworks will take over the sky for the 4th of July. It's important to know which fireworks are legal and which ones aren't in the Madison metro area. I'm here at a pop-up tent in Middleton, and it's important to know which ones to buy to avoid a ticket.
Sparklers, snaps, caps, and snakes
are the only legal fireworks in the Madison metro area.
Generally speaking, if something leaves the ground, that's going to be a hazard, and those are the things that are prohibited by ordinance.
We will have extra patrols going through pretty much most of most of Madison, with some emphasis on Elver and Gardner Park.
The Madison Police Department wants to avoid another incident like what happened at Elver Park in 2024.
While fireworks that shoot up are really cool, they can create some safety hazards for other people, especially if they shoot towards a building or shoot towards like a dried out wooded area.
Because of the unsanctioned fireworks, a Madison police officer was hit and thankfully only had minor injuries. But situations like this can turn deadly, and tickets can cost nearly $400.
Like I said, we will have officers in obviously patrolling Madison. We will have some extra staffing just due to it being the 4th of July to address any issues in the parks.
A Middleton police captain understands that people want to enjoy the holiday, but asks that everyone complies with officers.
So we want to educate and, again, get that voluntary compliance. If people are going to willfully not comply, particularly after that effort, we aren't afraid to issue citations.
All of the agencies that I talked to said that safety is their priority, and when in doubt, make sure that you call the fire or police department. Reporting in Middleton, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
If you're looking for a fireworks show tonight, you can head to the Duck Pond after the Nightmares game for the display. Everyone with a ticket can access the field, but if you don't have one, you can still watch from Warner Park. Tomorrow, the Mallards will rebrand as the Madison Neverminds, honoring the Nirvana album produced at Smart Studios in Madison 35 years ago. The event includes a jersey auction, music, and activities. You can get tickets for both events online at northwoodsleague.com. And of course, that is just one of many shows happening throughout our area tonight. You have some in Monona, Beloit, Whitewater, Stoughton, all across the way. Yeah, and we do have a list of that on our website, channel3000.com. But speaking of the Mallards, as we just were, every Friday until early August, we'll be giving out 1 4-pack of tickets to watch the Madison Mallards.
All you have to do is tune in right here on News 3 Now this morning. You watch for the question of the day, and then you answer it online at channel3000.com. And you don't have to have the correct answer. Just simply answering the question enters you in the drawing.
Yes, there's a code little word there that you can do.
Yes.
So today's question of the day is, what does the baseball acronym RBI stand for? For all you baseball fans out there, you should have no problem getting this one right.
Yeah, this is an easy one, right?
Yes, of course. If you know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, remember, all you have to do is share your answer at channel3000.com/contest. You'll be entered to win a 4-pack of tickets for next Tuesday's game against the Lakeshore Chinooks.
And there's a game Friday coming up, and you're throwing out the first pitch next week.
Yes, also be aware of that Friday game. Yes.
I wish I was going to be in town so I could see you throw that.
Yes, it'll be our time for kids night. So if you want to see your very own out there, I'm going to try my best to get it into the glove.
Absolutely. You'll do great. I have high confidence in you.
Yes, but we will be doing a lot of stuff. It's in partnership with SSM Health. So come out and see us next Friday, July 11th at the Mallards game.
Yeah, well, 4th of July, it's here. We're tracking an active morning on radar this morning. We did have a shelf cloud that's moving out of southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. We'll recap the storms and also have an update on how hot it's going to be for the 4th once the storms end.
Also ahead, are you craving summer fun and s'mores without the mess? One resort chef shares a tasty twist you can try at home.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
4th of July and welcome back. Amanda sent this into me, so thank you. This was in Milton as that shelf cloud and storm moved out of Dane County and into Rock County. This actual storm right now is south of the city of Janesville, and for the most part, that main line of storms that is still currently producing a shelf cloud is moving out of southern Wisconsin and into northern Illinois. On radar, we do still have an active morning, but that picture, that was from this storm right here that's now grazing the areas like Rockford down in northern Illinois. So we're not waking up to as active of a radar anymore. All these storms did once hit southern Wisconsin. They have had a history of producing a lot of lightning, gusty winds, and also some hail. 40-mile-per-hour winds and also some pea-sized hail were reported with this. There's lots of heavy rain too. We're still waking up to an active start in Madison and most of Dane County, but heavy rain is really the only thing that we have to worry about. That's along the Beltline too in areas like Fitchburg, Stoughton, and then out in Jefferson County as well. Once these heavy areas of rain move out of here, nothing else is in the forecast as far as rain or storms go the remainder of the day. So by mid-morning, all these showers are going to move out of here. I think anything that we're seeing northeast of here, that all eventually fizzles out, which is some good news. So yes, fireworks shows later today are going to be dry, but it is going to be very hot outside. So areas in the red, basically all in the majority of southern Wisconsin under a major risk of the heat. So heat exhaustion, heat-related illness, heat stroke, that's more likely today, not only today for the 4th, but also tomorrow. A lot of people have plans outside today and tomorrow. Make sure that you're practicing heat safety because that red, the major risk of the heat still in place for tomorrow as well. Returning sunny by the afternoon, areas north of Madison already seeing that sunshine. Storms end will be at 85 by noon, 90 by 4. So temperatures will top out in the lower 90s, upper 80s, lower 90s all across southern Wisconsin later today. But the heat index, those values could actually reach 95 all the way up to 100 degrees. Nighttime temperatures are going to be very muggy, so the fireworks shows expect a muggy evening and very warm. When our temperatures don't fall below the mid-70s, which is in the forecast tonight, our bodies don't have full time to recover or cool down from the heat of the day, which we're going to see both today and tomorrow. Still a temperature in the lower 80s at 8 p.m. By 9, that temperature will still hover around 80, and then 76 comes down slightly, but not a lot. We don't have any more storms to talk about today once the morning ones move out, but later, mainly tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, we do have the risk of seeing another round of strong to severe thunderstorms. Right now, marginal risk, but this was up north of the Dells. They actually shifted that further southeast now, including Madison, all of Dane County, areas like Janesville, Watertown, and then also up near Sheboygan and Manitowoc. So anything, gusty winds, hail, that's going to be the main threats. We'll definitely see some pockets of heavier rain tomorrow as well. So anything that develops won't be until around dinner time tomorrow. I would say late afternoon, early evening, about 4 to 5 p.m. west of Madison. The storms travel eastward and then will be dry most of Sunday. I think some showers and storms could linger though into Sunday early morning, but the cold front clears the area and that'll finally drop our temperatures at least a little bit. We'll see some relief. 89 will still be the high tomorrow, but then we're down to 83 because of that cold front, and that's where we keep temperatures the next week.
From water parks to mini golf to s'mores, Timber Ridge Lodge Water Park in Lake Geneva is a quick getaway for family summer fun. And today, Chef David Geske is here to show us how to make their fun campfire s'mores right at home. Chef David, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you here. So, Fireside Terrace is a new outdoor dining experience at Timber Ridge. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it all?
Yes, it takes our wilderness theme with an elevated outdoor setting for food during the day. It's open from 11 to 4 for lunch, and then the bar is open from 11 to dusk for drinks and fireside fun.
And our focus here today is the campfire s'mores. No campfire required here.
No, nope.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and walk us through it?
Absolutely. So this is a dessert we offer for $6 at our Fireside Terrace, and it's a fun little thing we can do at home without the campfire and have that s'mores experience, especially for 4th of July. And
yes,
we can go ahead and build one of these together and enjoy.
All right. So what's first?
So first we're going to start with the marshmallow fluff.
Okay, gotta have that fluff.
Absolutely. So go ahead and take 2 spoons. It scoops off a little easier that way.
Okay. 2 spoons.
And then you can just go ahead and fill the cup at the bottom just a little bit.
All right. I love the fluff. Gosh, mine might be a little messy when it's all said and done here.
That's okay. That's part of the fun.
Okay. So. Love the fluff.
All right. And then you can go ahead and take some chocolate pudding and put a nice little layer in there.
Nice little layer of chocolate pudding. And boom. Ooh, there we go.
And then I did bring some enhancements for things to do at home if you wanted to add to it. We got mini M&Ms, Oreos, some granola, some fresh fruit, some Heath bars, if you want to go ahead and put any of that in there.
I am glad to say that you have the Oreos and M&Ms. That's my go-to.
And then we'll go ahead with a little bit of the classic graham cracker right on top of these guys.
Okay.
So just a nice little layer.
Okay, take some graham crackers. All right.
And then we can go back in for a couple more layers of marshmallow fluff.
Gotta love the fluff here. And this is so fun that you can do it home with the kids or the family.
And then you can finish off the top with some more graham crackers or whatever toppings you'd like.
A little bit of graham crackers, a little bit of M&Ms, a little bit of Oreos. I got a little bit of everything there, okay.
And then I did bring some pre-toasted marshmallows, which you can do over like a stovetop or grill to make it nice and easy, but we can put those right on top just for the finishing touch.
Okay.
And that is it. That is nice and easy and fun to do at home with kids and family and 4th of July fun.
Yes. And speaking of 4th of July fun, you all have some events going on today.
Yes, we have a dance party from 3 to 6 that'll be outside at the Fireside Terrace with the DJ, and it'll be lots of fun out there. So we'll have a bunch of people and live music, and it'll be a great time.
All right. Well, Chef David, we want to thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we will share all of these details over on our website, channel3000.com.
Those were good.
Yes, and easy to make, especially if you're, spending time with the fam today. It's something good to keep the kids occupied as well.
And I think it's National S'mores Week or month or something like that. This is the busiest week for s'mores, so yeah.
Yes, I love me a good s'mores.
Me too.
Well, coming up in the morning sprint, thousands of vehicles are being recalled due to possible engine failure. Stick around. We've got the year, make, and models you need to worry about. But before we head to break, we've got a couple of birthdays to celebrate. We want to wish Timothy a happy birthday, turning 3 today.
And also happy birthday to Cullen. Hope you have a great day and 4th of July.
Happy birthday from everyone here at News 3 Now this morning. Stick around. We're back with the sprint after this. Time now for the morning sprint. ICE officials have arrested Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. over alleged cartel ties. In a social media post, it says he is being processed for expedited removal from the United States. Authorities previously determined he had made fake statements on a permanent resident application and is in the country illegally. The man accused of choking a dog to death has died. An obituary says Richard Van Buren, the chairman of the Chester Town Board, died Wednesday from complications during a surgery. Van Buren was charged in Dodge County with mistreatment of animals causing death. President Donald Trump is sending out letters to countries on their import tariff rate, meaning U.S. businesses could soon learn how much they have to pay for certain imports. Trump's so-called reciprocal tariff pause is set to end on Wednesday. The Federal Reserve chair says the pause contributed to the Fed's recent decisions not to lower rates. Trump says collection of most of the new tariffs will begin August 1st. Nissan is recalling more than 440,000 vehicles due to bearing defects that could lead to engine failure. That would cause the car to lose power during use. Recalled models include the 2021 to 24 Rogue, the 2019 to 20 Altima, the 2019 to 2022 Infiniti QX50, and the 2022 Infiniti QX55. Dealers will inspect the recalled vehicles if needed. Nissan will start notifying affected drivers next month.
Well, happy 4th of July. We're tracking the morning storm is ending and it'll be hot and humid the rest of the day with sunshine returning. Firework shows are going to be dry. The heat index could get between 95 and up to 100 degrees. It'll be hot. Make sure that you practice heat safety. Temperatures tomorrow still going to make it into the upper 80s, lower 90s, and then we'll finally have some relief because of a cold front. A couple storms because of that, but then by Sunday we're down to 83.
All right, we hope you have a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. Coming up next is CBS Mornings, our next newscast later on. Because I don't know if there's a noon.
We don't have a noon today.
Okay, great.